Cut the music. All right, this is the reason I don't like the Epic Store. I don't know when this game actually released, but I had no fucking idea it was even coming out anytime soon. It's an Epic exclusive, and this is why Epic is the place where games go to fucking die. Because I don't think anybody really knows that this game is out. Oh, so dumb. Hey, Curse to Golf is free now on Epic. I've already got it on Steam, but, you know, it's a cool looking game. I've never actually played it, I don't think. All right. Let's go over here. Let's go over here. Properties. This one. Yeah. I haven't actually played any of the game. I just started a new one. Saw it was running, and yeah. This is the story of Chairship Jefferson.
Captain's log, stardate 57931.4. The crew is restless. After spending too many months piecing our ship back together, we're finally about to venture out on a new mission. And the crew isn't letting this unprecedented ion storm slow them down. They're ready for something different. I know I am. Perhaps more than any of them. Fortunately, nothing ever stays the same. It's entropy, the nature of the universe. Change is inevitable. And while entropy says order gives way to chaos, in this case, change is good. Our new first officer is en route to the Resolute. Jara Rydek. I know she'll bring a welcome dose of new blood to the crew.
Thanks.
No problem.
I'm not great with flying. But these little shuttles are the worst.
You don't like flying. Yet, you joined Starfleet.
There's a reason I'm not a pilot.
You should try it sometime.
I don't know what race this character is.
Sorry, I'm a
I
little
remember
anxious.
seeing that
I hadn't
particular
noticed.
ridge.
I'm on my way to my first assignment. When we get to the starbase, I'm transferring on to the Resolute.
So am I.
It won't be easy for Jara to step in at the 11th hour like this. But if she's
No, that's
that
not
officer
Klingon.
I knew she could become when she was a cadet at Starfleet Academy, she'll be the XO this ship needs right now.
I don't remember if I saw those guys in Next Generation or in Deep Space Nine, but I've definitely seen them before. Nah, not Bajorn. Bajorn's got the crinkled noses.
A starbase on the very edge of Federation space. Long way from home now.
Commander? I'm not usually such a nervous wreck, by the way. I actually did well at the academy.
Oh yeah?
Maybe
Maybe
you've heard of the
Lysepian?
Torvalin test?
Sounds familiar.
It's a tactical simulator that makes the Kobayashi Maru look like a picnic on Pintaris 5. Anyway, I finished in the top 20. Not just in my class. I mean,
Kobliad.
all time in the history of the academy.
Thank you.
So, there's that.
Only top 20, huh? So I guess there's room for improvement.
Well, it's really, really hard.
So I've heard.
I think they all swallowed a light bulb. The lighting inside their mouths is really kind of weird.
Please place your hand here. Hold it there for a few seconds.
Yeah, now that I could have sworn the Kobliad were something else.
Welcome, Commander Rydek.
So those aren't the ones
You're
that
Jara Rydek? You absolutely crushed the Torvalin test. You finished in what, like the top 3?
That would be me.
Now I'm
thinking about the ones that reproduce
It's an honor to meet
by
you, Commander.
taking
Sorry,
corpses.
I didn't realize before. I just came off the shuttle and was glad to be on solid ground.
When people say top 3, what they really mean is 3rd place. I'm not first, so there's always room for improvement.
I'll, keep working then.
I believe Commander Ermot is expecting you. He's in the concourse. Just
Your hair is weird.
See you on the Resolute.
Good day, Commander.
If I remember my briefing, Commander Ermot is a bully, so I'm looking for someone with blue skin.
I know what a bullion is.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm just... Well, I'm not sure where my departure dock is. The Resolute's gonna leave without me.
Look here. The Resolute is leaving from this dock.
Oh, you're right. Nerves must be getting to me. Thanks so much, Commander.
So what the hell year is it that alien species from the Delta Quadrant traveled the 83 years it would take to get to Starfleet to join?
Excuse me. Have you seen a Bolian around here?
Yes, sir. Right back there, near the replicator.
Ah, there he is. Thank you.
Happy to help, Commander.
I'll replicate myself a meal once I'm on board.
No,
Excuse me.
I'll just eat somebody else's food.
Welcome to the edge of the galaxy, Commander Rydek. I'm Commander Jan Ermot, Operations Officer on the Resolute.
The passenger in Deep Space Nine.
Commander? I hope there wasn't too much trouble getting here. This storm isn't making anything easy for us right now. I know conditions are less than ideal at the moment.
It takes more than a little turbulence to rattle me.
I'm sure that's the case. We're
So
grateful
far-
you were able to come fill our first officer vacancy at such short notice. From everything I've read and everything I've heard, we're lucky you were available to
This
us.
feels like Star Trek.
coming from a premier starship and all, to our little research vessel.
What exactly have you heard about me?
First in your class at the Academy. Received the Starfleet Award of Valor during the Dominion War. Most recently, Tactical Officer and Chief of Security on the USS Endeavor.
You've done your homework.
Like I said, we're very lucky.
Is that Intrepid class?
The USS Resolute. She may not look like much compared
I think
to
the
bigger
Resolute
ships.
is Intrepid
As far as
class.
science vessels go, she can more than hold her own. And she doesn't look so bad considering 6 months ago she was nearly cracked in half, venting plasma, fighting for her life.
It was an accident?
The equipment malfunction. An accident suggests fault, but no one's to blame. It was a planned test, but the warp core was pushed beyond its limits. It destabilized the dilithium, there was a runaway reaction, and the warp bubble deformed. We thought we could reach a higher resonant frequency, but it was more than she could handle. Cost us our first officer and 22 of our crew. At the end of the day, we're all responsible for each other.
To have lost so many lives. That's a high price to pay.
Too high by any estimation. But there's nothing that can be done about it now except get back to work. And make sure it never happens again. Listen. I realize you've known Captain Solana for quite some time. And I'm sure you're ready to bring your best. But I should warn you that when the captain announced you would be the new first officer, there were those who felt it was a mistake. That he should have promoted from within. So you might want to tread lightly at first. Until they come to value your contributions as much as he does.
All due respect to anyone that feels that way. They're gonna have to get over it. I'm here, and I have a job to do. Just like anyone else.
That's true, but I wouldn't say it like that. Starfleet has assigned us a high-priority mission to the Hotari.
Ooh. It depends on how much you like what you see here. Give me a second, I'll be right back. Like, a conspiracy music. So the only reason I bought this was because it's Star Trek. It looked like a game I really wanted to check out. Definitely wanted to stream it, and which is why I haven't played it so far. And then, really, pretty much any other game, I would wind up waiting until it released on Steam. Like, I don't like the Epic storefront. It doesn't feel fun to use. I've got everything on Steam already, so, like, that storefront has a lot going against it.
I'll let the captain brief you on board. I know he's eager to see you.
Will we be mission ready in time?
We have every intention. The crew has been working around
Hi,
the clock to
Ara.
get the ship ready. There's still so much to do.
Oh, and Mary, thank you for Ooblets. If this was not out, I would be playing that now, I think. I was thinking that earlier. I'm like, what am I playing tonight? Ooblets? I'm like, oh yeah, I have something on the Epic store that I can't remember.
I got just the thing.
This is the plasma torch. Oh, it even told me. I know that because not Tuvok tried to kill Picard with a plasma torch. Okay, I see how that's done. You know, I'm going to try switching the controller for this. It feels a little unresponsive, or it doesn't feel quite right with keyboard. Yeah, this feels a little bit better. Normally I'd bitch about the quick time events, but they don't seem like they are quick time events. Just you do it. And like, how else are you going to show like engineering in a game? This is shit you do in Star Trek. I love that sound.
I thought the thing was totally fried.
All right, we got a trill.
Nice work, Carter.
An Asian trill.
Nothing to it, Neely.
And not a moment too soon. The boss wants us down in engineering. Like, now.
Oh, there we go. But yeah, wait, what's a basilisk look like? Oof, there's so many different species. Joined or, oh, can't tell.
Engineering.
We will have to see.
UXO just arrived. Won't be long before we get underway. I just hope whatever Chovak called us down for, it's something good. I can never tell with him. I'd rather not end up degaussing plasma manifolds. Hanging upside down makes me queasy.
You and me working together, we can tackle anything he throws at us.
Your optimism is positively contagious.
Most, if I recall correctly, most Trill are not joined.
Looks like we got here before.
Lieutenant Commander Chovak.
We were just looking for you, Commander.
Petty Officers Ed Solar, Diaz. I was beginning to think you would be late. We are all hands on deck right now, which means if you are not at your post at the appointed time, I do not have someone to replace you. A point I have been forced to make to Petty Officer Edzelar on repeated occasions.
So you're saying we're irreplaceable, Commander?
That is one interpretation. Another would be that I would replace you if I could.
Oh!
Interpret as you see fit.
Fucking Vulcans, man.
So, I don't suppose you wanted us down here to check in before we go off duty?
Equip yourselves in EV suits to work on the exterior of the hull. I need you to tune the structural integrity field for optimal performance. The subspace distortions and ionic interference we are experiencing are preventing the proper calibration. But this ship must be ready to depart shortly, despite the storm. The precise nature of these disturbances are not fully understood. But many systems have been affected by the wide band of emissive activity.
Whatever it throws at us, we'll be ready. We've got the best chief engineer in the fleet.
I am a Vulcan, Mr. Diaz. Flattery is not necessary. All that I require is that you do your job. Right now, that entails critical preparations, because long-range sensors show that these disturbances will be more severe at our destination, the Hotari system. You have your orders. Do not delay.
Yes, Commander
Roger that.
Chovak. All hands on deck.
What's that?
All hands on deck. That's what Chovak said. You know what that means? It means this ship isn't ready to go out and the brass know it. So they're throwing every warm body at it. And they're going to leave on schedule. Consequences be damned.
It all comes down to us, Nelly. We're the ones who will get it ready.
I know what we can do. But this isn't just any old refit or any old relaunch.
Oh, whoa.
Excuse me.
A lot of new faces coming on board. It's gotta be tough coming as a replacement. That's for sure.
They may not be the same crew we started out with, but they're still Starfleet. They'll know what to do when the time comes.
I prefer the scientific method. Evidence over assumptions.
Yo, she looks stoned
Hold
as
on.
fuck.
Now there's an old face I didn't expect to see again. Hey, Miranda!
You weren't gonna leave without me, were you?
Miranda, you're here?
We thought you were staying on the Adirondack.
Transfer came in at the last minute, so I figured I'd slum it on this bucket of bolts. Looks like you got her back together pretty nicely. I wasn't sure what to expect.
Don't talk badly about one of the best ships in all of Starfleet.
We've rebuilt enough of her by now. She better be one of the best.
We'll see about that. But I am glad to be here. He still owes me a bottle of Saurian brandy. Don't think I forgot.
They walk a
Yeah,
little
it's coming
weird.
Back to me now.
Maybe Carter can rustle up that bottle and we can give you a proper welcome. As soon as we wrap up this quick little spacewalk.
Why do you put right trigger on the left side?
Here, let me help you.
Thanks.
So
Why?
what's the word? Are you back in the security rotation?
Yep. Still running with the usual suspects.
Whoa.
Good to go. See you on the other side.
Activating magnetic souls.
Ah. Alright, this is cool looking. I mean, it's basically a cutscene, but...
Let's go.
Like, I pushed the walk forward button. USS Resolute. I'm sure I've heard of this ship before. I want to say in Deep Space Nine.
Captain Solano should be here momentarily. You'll have to forgive me, I don't know much about Kobleons. But my understanding is you need a steady supply of duridium to keep your cell structure stabilized, or bad things start to happen. And we have plenty of duridium in sickbay, so there's no risk of running out.
Thank you.
Feel free to make yourself at home. And help yourself to whatever you like from the replicator.
I remember something about the Duridium shipment. I think Quark was going to steal it.
The first mineral Captain Solano ever discovered. Always was the nostalgic type.
No, 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 no. Okay, okay, I remember now. I remember now that I want to say it was the episode with the one
Just
chick
a sip of something.
that that fell for Odo, and then
Decisions.
Ractigino, of course.
Ractigino.
And then it turns out that she was a totally different person. And she was actually married. But she didn't have her memories.
That sure has a kick.
That's it? What'd she do, chug it?
Last time I saw you, it was graduation from the academy. You'd already secured one of the most prestigious assignments possible. And you were burning with enough ambition to fuel 7 trips around the Necrid Expanse.
It's good to see you again, Captain.
I could not be happier to have you on the Resolute. The only regret is that we couldn't provide you with a warmer welcome.
Necrid Expanse's
The
Voyager.
arrival of a first officer to her new ship deserves a bit of fanfare. But, unfortunately, we've had our hands full with the refit.
That would be totally unnecessary. I don't need any pomp and circumstance.
You've been here all of 5 minutes, and already you're trying to make us more efficient. I like it. As I'm sure you've heard, we've had a rough go of it these last 6 months. The ship suffered some damage, but not nearly as much as the crew.
I heard that you had an equipment malfunction.
Is that what they're calling it? No, that's just someone being generous. If anything, it was a leadership malfunction. We were on the verge of a major scientific breakthrough. A quantum leap forward in warp core technology. 10,000 teradynes per second. The ability to travel at a sustained rate of speed longer and faster than we ever dreamed. What would have been the crowning achievement of my career. Right there. Within our grasp. Until it all went so horribly wrong. We pushed her too hard, and a warp core malfunction overloaded the system, creating a pressure gradient way beyond what the ship can handle. It was heartbreaking. We lost some of our best people. As captain, I have to take full responsibility. It was my decision to make, and I have to live with the consequences.
You have to look to the future. You can't dwell on the past, on things you can't change.
There's nothing that can be done about it now. In my defense, I will say, I might have avoided the whole ordeal if my senior staff had been willing to trust me. There was a lot of pushback from my former XO. I think that cost me his confidence. I don't want you to pull any punches. Certainly not on my account. But once we decide on a course of action, I need everyone to fully commit to the mission. Anything short of that just won't work. And that's when things start to go sideways.
And what happens if they don't?
There's a chain of command for a reason. We all have our orders.
That's true. Everyone on this ship should know that.
Sometimes the occasional reminder doesn't hurt. Look, I'll be blunt. We can't afford another mistake. Or at least, I can't. I feel like my career is hanging in the balance here. We need a win. Something to restore the crew's confidence.
I understand.
On a more positive note, Starfleet has tasked us with what they're calling a mission of the highest priority. Escorting a senior diplomat to Hotari space. 2 previously peaceful and otherwise non-aggressive civilizations now find themselves on the brink of all-out war.
So it's a peacekeeping mission.
I see it as a golden opportunity to not only prove what the Resolute and her crew are truly capable of, but also a mission for which we're uniquely qualified. This ionic storm. Our long-range sensors suggested several orders of magnitude stronger than anything on record. A total anomaly like nothing we've seen before. And you'll never guess where it leads,
Hatari.
Exactly. Very nearly in the precise location where we're headed. Where I imagine the interference will be exponentially greater. But the diplomat will brief us on the details of the rendezvous.
Who is the senior diplomat we're escorting?
That I don't know. Starfleet hasn't said. But I don't want to get ahead of myself. I expect we'll have some rough sledding when we arrive, so I need you to prepare the crew for the worst. There's just one more thing I want to clarify up front. The metric that for me will be the ultimate measure of your success.
What is it?
If after serving as my first officer, you don't one day find yourself with a ship of your own, then I will consider it my personal failure. When that might happen is entirely up to you. But it goes without saying, you have my full support.
It's been a dream of mine since before I can remember. So I would be honored to become a captain someday.
As long as you're willing to do the work, you have my promise. I'll do everything in my power to see that it happens.
Thank you.
Come, let me introduce you to the crew.
Yeah, like, walking in these sections is a little bit off. But they're basically cutscenes.
Everyone, if I could have your attention for a moment. I'd like to introduce Commander Jara Rydek, our new first officer. Some quick introductions.
It's a good-looking bridge.
Lieutenant Handar, our helmsman, one of the best in the business.
One of?
Well, what he lacks in humility, he more than makes up for in ability.
A pleasure to meet you, Commander.
This is very the next generation looking.
Next, we have Commander Westbrook, our Chief Science Officer. I've come to rely on his expert counsel on a regular basis.
Pleasure.
Commander Rydek, it is such an honor to meet you.
This is our tactical officer, Lieutenant Bedrosian, who's been looking forward to meeting you for about as long as I can remember.
I've been following your career for quite some time, and I look forward to learning as much as I can from you.
If anything, the honor is mine.
Well, I have to admit, one of the reasons I've followed your career is because you're part Kobliad. Because of what you've become. Starfleet stands up for people who can't defend themselves, and you were one of those people once. But since then, you've done so much to protect others who need it. I really admire that. So, you've been something of an inspiration to me. Not that I've done anything close to what you've done.
I don't know what to say. That's incredibly flattering, thank you.
I hope someday I can follow in your footsteps.
I'm sure you will.
And then, of course, you've already met Commander Ermont. Please, do everything you can to make Commander Rydek feel at home here. I'll be on the starbase. Have an urgent meeting with the starbase commander to get our authorization to get underway. If they drag their feet any longer, we won't make our rendezvous.
The uniforms are very Deep Space Nine, though.
Tactical holodias. Just like they've got on the Excelsior. Science station. The Resolute is a science vessel, primarily. Might explain Commander Westbrook's attitude. I'll have to speak with him later. The helm. The Resolute is a refitted Centaur class, meaning it's capable of quick maneuvers. Can't wait to see what she can do.
Okay, so it's Centaur class. I'm not familiar with that one. I think that might be the upgrade of the Intrepid.
Operations.
Because it's got the downswept
There's a lot
nacelles.
to keep track of on a starship. Good thing we have Commander Ermont.
Intrepid class would have been the original series, I think.
Commander, Chief Engineer Chovak needs to lower the structural
I
integrity
think that's
field.
what
He sent a crew
Khan
out
was
to recalibrate
flying.
the emitters in response to the danger posed by the storm. We just need your go-ahead.
Permission granted.
Lowering structural integrity field now.
Entering maintenance mode. Condition blue.
Is blue good?
Storm is getting worse.
Looks like they turned off the SIF.
Great. Let's get to that emitter.
There you go. Look at those magnet boats. There you go.
Every time we're out here, I half expect to see her in pieces again.
She's still got some scars on her. It adds character.
When I joined Starfleet, all I wanted was a ride out of town. But this isn't exactly how I pictured it.
On the outside of the ship?
No. Sometimes it feels like we're just part of the machinery. Don't you want more than that? I mean, Starfleet is noble and all, but it's still a machine.
I am more than that. And so are you. You wanted to get away. I enlisted because I didn't want to wait years just to get out and see the galaxy. I wanted to go somewhere. See new worlds. Look up at a sky no one's ever seen before. Just because I'm cranking a hyperspanner up in a Jeffries tube today doesn't mean that's all I'll ever be. Diaz to Commander Chovak. We are at the SIF emitter.
Acknowledged. You may proceed with the recalibration.
Beginning recalibration.
Careful. Too much action and harmonics will deflect the alignment.
Alright, I have to do this slowly.
Looks good. That wasn't so hard.
Commander Westbrook, right? Chief Science Officer.
You remembered my name and my rank. Impressive. Yes, I'm the Chief Science Officer, and I have the dubious honor of being the most senior officer on this bridge. I know this ship inside and out. Better than just about anyone.
Well, I'm so glad you said that. Now I know exactly who to turn to when I have questions.
Questions are more Commander Ermont's territory. Captain Solano primarily relies on my knowledge and expertise when he needs answers. I'm curious, though. A Kobliad, or half in your case, is an odd choice for First Officer, given your vulnerable condition and all. But if As an example, we found ourselves in a hostile situation, and you were suddenly incapacitated because you needed an infusion. What would happen then? You'd leave Captain Solano without an XO. Granted, that would be a worst-case scenario, but not outside the realm of possibility.
Captain Solano's familiar with my condition. I'm sure it factored into his decision. So I'd have to say it's not a problem.
But we should probably have a contingency plan just in case. Listen, can I be blunt, Commander?
I see no reason to stop now.
Commander Sutherland, your predecessor, was one of the best first officers in all of Starfleet. His record was impeccable and his reputation was without equal. I mean no disrespect, but the shoes you're stepping into are almost impossible to fill. He was loved by the crew. And he was one of my closest friends. So I can only hope that you'll live up to expectations.
Mr. Westbrook, if you have some kind of problem with me, and you just met me so it has nothing to do with me, you're gonna have to figure out how to get over it. Because I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. I'll stick to science. That is what this ship is for.
Very well.
Seeing as Captain Solano is on the starbase, let me give you an update on this ion storm we're flying into.
Somebody
It's
give this guy a
unusual,
red shirt.
Unlike anything I've ever seen. At the moment, I can't tell you if the Resolute will shrug it off or if we're putting ourselves at risk. However, if we learn more about its patterns, its nature, we can come up with a scientific countermeasure.
Why is everybody
Just a moment.
ignoring the flashing red lights?
We've got a massive energy wave inbound.
On screen.
Tracing its trajectory.
Starbase docking clamps are holding.
The storm's emissions are fluctuating, coming in waves. And if my projections are right, we're about to get hit by a wide-band burst of ionic energy, like a tsunami.
I'm reading power abnormalities.
Red alert.
Aye. Evacuating main gangway and retracting.
Putting sensor visualization on screen.
With the structural integrity field shut down, we can't take a direct hit.
Time to impact. 1 minute.
Shield systems are severely impacted. We have limited protection.
I need every available solution. What are our options?
We can weaken the impact of the storm with a deflector pulse.
There's a better way.
I'm sending all auxiliary power to the deflector dish.
Send the aux power to the shields. We can't reactivate the entire shield bubble, but it's a directional threat. So we can orient all we have towards the wave. You have to believe me.
We only get one shot at this. We can't afford to get it wrong.
Petrosian, get those shields up.
Rerouting power to shields. Stand by. I need a heading. We've only got one shot.
Understood. On my command.
Heading locked.
Raise shields.
This is it!
All hands, brace for impact.
What happened?
We have experienced a surge of radiation.
Oh, you don't say.
This radiation supercharged the plasma, forcing it to backflush through the system and creating a dangerous imbalance.
It can blow out every primary system on the ship.
Just tell us where you need us.
I need you to traverse the hull to the access port to recalibrate the port nacelle plasma regulator.
We've reached the first access point.
Understood. Do you see the override?
That's a great
level
deal.
1 fail-safe
What's up?
circuits?
Air gear is great. Yeah, Mass Effect Trilogy is, or Legendary
Engage the
Edition is
override.
amazing.
It should allow us to stop the EPS flow to the warp engine without triggering an automatic core shutdown.
Failsafe override engaged.
Are you sure? I am registering some crosstalk in the bypass circuit.
We need to route the signals so they don't interfere with each other.
Diaz to Resolute. The failsafes are temporarily disabled. Moving on to the EPS regulator.
Heads up, Carter.
What is that?
One of the discharges coalesced.
It's coming right toward us. I'm gonna try to disrupt it with my phaser.
That's really awkward.
So we gotta climb up the pylon. Not that there's really an up, but, you know.
This is very awkward.
Snuck up on me.
That damaged your suit. Energy dampening is down to 60%.
There we go. I've got it down now. Alright, so there is some gameplay in this game.
Carter!
That hurt.
Not get hit again. We're almost to the regulator. Carter!
I shot it! I'm not interested in Mortal Kombat 1. There's so much, like, I don't know, it just doesn't do it for me. 11 was just kind of okay.
We're almost to the regulator.
We're at the regulator. Opening the access panel.
I am now halting the EPS flow to the port nacelle. We have little time before it causes an overload in the engine. You must work efficiently.
EPS manifold adjusters reset to neutral. access lines to the port warp engine are back in balance. Almost done. Once I cycle the manifold nozzles, Chovak can... the docking clamp. We've got a lot of debris coming down. Hull vibrations, too. We can't finish the EPS regulation in these conditions. Please advise.
We have to release the ship from that other docking clamp or the hull will be ripped apart.
There's a problem. The clamps are supposed to disengage automatically in an emergency, but it's not working.
Not working?
What are our options?
The docking clamps are fitted with exploding bolts for an emergency release.
We've got crew out there. That'd be like setting off a bomb next to them.
Maybe there's another way.
Starbase is hailing us.
Put him through.
Resolute, the remaining mooring arm is failing. You need to disengage from the starbase now. The damage to the station will be catastrophic.
We have crew outside and are looking for the
safest way. We have people on this station. If that mooring arm breaks, we could lose dozens of crew.
Commander, hear me out. Reverse the polarity of the hull, which theoretically will repel the docking clamps.
And repel the engineering crew right off the hull into the storm.
This is Captain Solano. Put me on screen.
I'm assuming we can't beam them
Captain,
up.
We have a situation.
Commander, what are you doing? Blow the bolts on the docking clamp.
The captain doesn't know the whole story.
I'm giving you an order. Chara?
Captain, you brought me here because you trusted me. Can you trust me now?
You better be sure you make the right decision.
The captain made himself quite clear.
They're gonna get hammered with debris out there. Reverse the polarity.
There is protocol.
And there are lives.
Starbase, stand by. We're gonna flip hull polarity to disengage the clamps.
Yes, Commander.
Repair crew, this is Acting Captain Jara Rydek. Be advised, we are going to reverse hull polarity to free us from the remaining.
The captain's up to something. I feel I can.
On my mark.
Understood.
He's one of those
7, 6, 5.
Oh, what was?
4, 3, 2.
What was
1.
Riker's old
Mark.
captain? Prescott? Admiral Prescott, I think?
Grab my hand! I got you.
Thank you.
Plasma imbalance is reaching critical condition. We are moments from primary system failure.
I got it.
I have my own fan theory that that guy is actually basically responsible for the destruction of Romulus. It all comes down from. Come on. It's the phased cloak, which the Romulans wound up getting their hands on, tried to make their own. There was a whole episode about that. But I feel like they continued doing phased cloak experiments. Oh, that's got hurt.
I got you. Petty Officer Etzelar's hurt and unconscious. I'm gonna have to tow her back to the airlock.
Mr. Diaz, the situation has changed. You are at risk of triggering a substantial electromagnetic arc if you approach the main hull the way you came.
Commander, the way we came is the nearest airlock.
There is an auxiliary hatch near you on the far end of the pylon. You must bring Miss Edsolar there to access the interior.
But yeah, I feel like they kept doing experiments with the phase cloak, and then one of their ships would have phased and then got sucked into the sun, and then basically the artificial black hole that powers their ship, like when their shields or whatever eventually failed and they were stuck in the middle of the sun, that would have detonated the sun. I don't think they've actually explained exactly what was going on with Romulus's son, just like
Me save your neck this time.
Spock was trying to fix it, and he didn't.
No time to fight me on this. Get in there.
Not on your life.
Let's not let it come down to that.
She got knocked in the fucking head. She needs to go down first. I think that was supposed to happen. Because I hit the trigger.
We made it.
They're safe, bringing the Sith fully online.
Do it.
Yeah, so with the captain, he just lost 22 people. Shit's going down. He's about to lose 2 more, and he says, blow the fucking pylon. That is... He is not fucking worried at all about his crew.
Nilly.
I'm good. Help me with him.
Yeah, so he's probably possessed by some kind of non-corporeal being. Oh, look, yeah. He's definitely infested.
Carter.
Hey, Pat.
You don't look so good. You gotta be more careful. I just got here. I'm not ready to see you two get blown to space dust just yet. Now let's get you down to sickbay.
Great.
He's possessed by an energy being. Kill him.
Status report.
The repair crew made it inside. EPS flow is back to nominal levels. The SIF is back up.
How does this affect mission readiness, Mr. Ermont?
Releasing the docking clamps using hull polarity minimized damage to the Resolute. We'll have some last-minute repairs to make, but if we reapportion some of the staff, we can make our departure on time. As of now, however, we are successfully moored to the station.
Good to hear. Send updates to my ready room. Commander Rydek, with me. You disobeyed my orders. Well?
Respectfully, Captain, I made the right choice given the information I had.
You disobeyed my orders! And not just in front of the bridge crew, but the Starbase staff as well. That's going to get around. My name's already tarnished around the fleet. But what is it going to do to my credibility?
Nah, it's
on
fresh,
this ship?
Pat.
From the top to the bottom. Bridge to lower decks.
Maybe I shouldn't have disobeyed a direct order, but you were wrong. You weren't on board, and you didn't have all the information. So I made the right decision for the ship. If you're worried about your credibility, put your ego aside and trust your crew. Trust me.
You might have won some fans on the bridge with that stunt, but not everyone. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has already bent my ear.
I'm sure he doesn't take it personally. He'll get over it in time.
Mr. Chovak is more complicated than he would want to admit. I guess we all are. And, if I'm being honest, I'm not sure what I would have done in the moment either. You never really know if you weren't in those shoes. So, let's just boil it down to you did what you had to. That'll have to be good enough for me.
Thank you for understanding, sir. I'm sure no one knows the burden of command as well as you do.
I'm sure you will, someday. Despite it all, we got our final Starfleet clearance.
What's with the fucking train, bro?
So if you'll fetch Mr. Ermont, we'll knock out the final details of any outstanding repairs, and we'll set out for Hotari.
Yes, sir. All departments reporting full mission readiness. We've got our full complement on board.
This is my favorite moment, right now.
The start of a new mission is always full of possibility.
The Orion Syndicate could sell it as a drug.
Don't let the Admiralty hear you say that.
Captain on the bridge.
Sit. Sit, everyone. You all know, I'm not big on speeches. We're embarking on the first mission since our refit. Let's make it a good one. Disengage docking clamps.
Docking clamps released.
Thrusters ahead, Mr. Handar.
All right. I remember here the Hodari Nebula. Again, I don't remember which particular series it was in. But I believe it was either The Next Generation or Deep Space Nine. I feel like it would have been Deep Space Nine.
That should do it. Set a course for the Hotari system. Prepare to go to Warp 8.
Aye, Captain.
You know what? You take this one.
Me? Engage.
I had to go with the classic. Wait, was there a make it so? No, it's make way. Okay.
Simple, but effective.
Easy.
Thank you. I'm fine. Really,
You don't look so good.
I'm still wondering what the fuck a Kobliad is doing in Starfleet, because they live so far away.
Go.
Help me get her inside.
Wow, these guys just roll over and fucking die? Like, this feels like an evolutionary dead end. Like, this species should not exist. They don't need seatbelts.
Well,
They have inertial
that was quite a
dampeners.
scare.
Those never
2
fail.
minutes more and it would have been one of the shortest tenures on record for a first officer.
is that the engineer that was out on the hull?
That storm did a real number on him, but he'll live. Just needs rest. You should worry about yourself. Your duridium levels got dangerously low and destabilized your cell structure.
This is definitely one of the more memorable first days I can think of.
My name is Dr. Aram Duval, Chief Medical Officer. To be honest, I've never met a Kobliad before. You're...
rare. I know.
I was going to say special. Your people's numbers have dwindled, despite the Federation's efforts to find a more readily available alternative to the duridium you need to survive. Yet you joined Starfleet and managed to thrive. I imagine the responsibility must be overwhelming. Maybe even a burden at times.
I know what it means. And I know the responsibility that comes with it. But I can't be anything more than who I am. And if someone has a problem with that, or expects something else, then that's their problem, not mine.
That's exactly right. And don't worry, I won't treat you like a science experiment. I just do the science and leave the experiments to Solano.
You don't agree with his methods?
I don't agree with his definition of acceptable risks. Not when the lives of your crew are at stake. My professional opinion is that the accident took a toll. More than he's willing to admit. He's overstressed, operating in the pressure cooker of his own mind. Which is never a good headspace when the lives of your crew are at stake. What concerns me is that now he's even further away from the thing he's been chasing his entire career. Breakthrough discovery. The major innovation. Something he can put his name on.
I hear you. But that's my job, isn't it? To make sure that doesn't happen. And we don't lose sight of the bigger picture.
Which is exactly why I'm so glad you're here. We need you now more than ever. And I have to give you credit for what happened on the bridge. It took guts to defy a direct order.
Huh. I guess word travels fast around here.
It's a small ship. And everyone's curious about the new XO. Fortunately, your cell structure is almost completely stabilized. And I'll spare us both the lecture, but I do feel it's my responsibility to remind you, without regular infusions of duridium, you will not live. It's as simple as that.
Understood.
Then, my work here is done.
Lieutenant Bedrosian.
I came to see if you were okay. We were all pretty worried on the bridge. No one knew what was happening.
I don't want anyone to worry. This is just part of who I am. It doesn't define me.
Of course. I completely understand. And I would probably feel the same way if I were you. You trusted me earlier with the shields, and I appreciated that. I want you to know that I have your back.
Thank you.
Now, Carter, the emissions that gave you that burn are quite unusual, like everything else that goes with this storm. That's the combination of hyronolin and lectrazine to counter the radiation effects. That should help speed your healing. She's come by a couple of times to see you already. Be brief.
It's good to see you awake again. I was starting to get worried. Not that you aren't in good hands with Dr. Duval. You did take one hell of a shot, though.
So, be honest. How bad do I look?
You look... rugged.
Rugged?
Okay, how about heroic? Millie was looking in on you too, by the way. But since it's just us right now, I had a chance to think about this while I was away. And I thought it was important that I just come out and tell you. Instead of tiptoeing around it.
She wants the bone.
It's okay, Miranda. You can tell me anything.
I know that.
Then come on. Just spit it out.
I'm trying. Let me talk. What I'm trying to say is, we've been really good friends for a long time. But I got back here and I couldn't ignore it anymore. I want to see if there's more between us than just being friends.
You don't have to explain it. I feel the same way. There is something between us.
So, do you want to find out what that something
I have no
is?
idea how this guy actually feels. I'm just trying to get him laid.
And it's there for me. Why not give it a try?
Are you kidding me? I just said yes.
I wanted to be sure I heard that right.
Sorry to interrupt, but the patient needs to rest if he wants to get back to his old self.
Of course. I'll see you again soon.
Approaching the rendezvous point outside Atari space.
Helm, bring us out of warp.
Dropping to impulse.
Ionic interference surging, Captain.
Shield integrity holding.
We can take it.
We are at the correct coordinates to meet the shuttle.
Commander Rydek, find us our diplomat, if you will.
Aye, Captain.
This is suspicious
Let's
as
reduce the noise.
fuck.
Filter out environmental signals. I can manually tune what's left for Federation signal types.
Why are we in the middle of a fucking asteroid field?
I've located the shuttle.
Opening comms.
On screen.
Literally the worst place to rendezvous.
Shuttle to Resolute. Shuttle to Resolute. Debris field. Lost maneuvering. Losing.
I can't get it any clearer.
You won't get a transporter lock. It's just not happening.
Power up the tractor beam. We'll pull them directly into the docking bay.
Diaz, you good to run the tractor emitter?
Yes, sir.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Come on, Diaz. First thing, lock onto the shuttle and stabilize the rotation.
Why am I doing this if I need it explained to myself? Spock would have irradiated himself and created a new planet. How do I let go of this?
There's a large piece of debris headed for the shuttle. The tractor beam can't handle it.
Can our shields take it?
I believe so.
Commander Rydek, plot an intercept course.
On it. Here we go. Maneuvering thrusters bearing 53 Mark 17. 200 meters on an intercept course.
Maneuvering.
There's a little kitty meowing at me.
Got it.
Just fucking ram an asteroid.
Someone's working hard on the bridge. got the shuttlecraft on board.
Good job. We're on our way down to meet them.
Terra firma, so to speak.
Ambassador Spock.
You're not supposed to be in this universe. What fucking universe are we? Is this Kelvin?
The captain will be right down to meet you, sir.
In that case, I will wait for him here.
I am confused. That's not a bad thing.
Well, let me be the first to say, welcome to the Resolute, Ambassador.
Thank you, Petty Officer...
Carter? Carter Diaz, sir.
I am pleased to meet you, Petty Officer Carter Diaz.
That is a really good Leonard Nimoy impersonation.
Your assistance arrived not a moment too soon, if I may say so.
All in a day's work, Ambassador. This is what I'm here for.
Quite dutifully. We thought we were prepared for our arrival in Hotari space, but it is evident my craft was not sufficiently robust for such intense ionic activity.
The storm has been pretty intense.
There was an element that was most unusual. Before you came to our aid, our maneuvering thrusters and impulse engines were rendered inoperable. So we attempted a short traversal at warp speed, only to find that we could not achieve warp at all, even though our diagnostics computer showed no faults or anomalies. What do you make of that? When all indications say that warp speed is possible, but in practice, we find it is not.
Well, this storm is one of the strangest phenomena we've ever encountered. It's disrupted other systems. Who knows what it might do to a warp drive?
Yes, it would seem further investigation is called for.
Take readings, run some additional diagnostic checks, and we'll get to the bottom of this.
Quite logical, Petty Officer Diaz. Thank you.
Ambassador Spock.
Excuse me.
Is that AI?
I'm honored to have you aboard. I'd like to get right to it. We're already behind.
I am wondering if that is an AI voice. I feel like that is definitely within the realm of possibility. Obviously, Leonard Nimoy didn't do the part.
Ambassador Spock, my senior staff.
I'm so fucking confused, though. Spock, last time I saw Spock was not an ambassador anymore. He was on Romulus.
You flatter me, Captain Solano. But legend implies the past tense, whereas I am very much focused on our present circumstances.
I didn't mean to suggest you were stuck in the past. You're right, Ambassador. Not the most diplomatic choice of words.
You are a legend, Ambassador. There's not an officer in Starfleet that doesn't know of your career.
I would never assume that to be the case.
We were hoping you could fill us in on the details. We got the basics from Starfleet. Two formerly peaceful neighbors are now on the brink of war.
Indeed, and the tension between them grows fiercer by the hour.
Man, that voice is, Spock on.
Lydia and Hotari. Illydians are the more advanced species. They made first contact with the Hotari over a century ago. This is Tau, the Hotari moon. It is rich in dilithium, and for decades, the Hotari and the Illydians have shared a mining operation there. The Illydians provide the technological resources, while the Hotari have served as the labor force. The stability of that arrangement was the source of their peace, until recently. The Hotari have suddenly and forcefully seized control of the mining operations and expelled the Illydians from their system. That is the official story, as told by the Hotari when they requested Federation mediation. But the details remain scant. Communications between all parties have been limited by the ionic interference.
What are the Hotari defensive capabilities? Do they stand a chance to hold on to the mines now that they've taken them?
It is unlikely the relatively primitive Hotari forces would prevail against the Elydian fleet in open war. But it would have been equally unlikely to predict they could take possession of the mines until they did just that, which leaves many unanswered questions. Left unchecked, this conflict will result in more bloodshed, which is what we are here to prevent.
And the dilithium trade hangs in the balance.
Clearly, the Hotari have been exploited in this relationship.
Maybe we can persuade them peace is the more profitable alternative for everyone. They both profited from the mines. And for the Hotari, something is better than nothing. Peace is our objective, after all.
The Hotari just won their independence. It's hard to believe they would give that up just for profit.
I agree. It would be exceedingly difficult to bring the Hotari to that position.
Neither the Elydians or the Hotari are members of the Federation, so we can't make them do anything.
There is an additional complicating factor I should mention. In the past, the Federation has relied on the Elydians as a source of dilithium.
That certainly changes things.
Federation sources its dilithium from a lot of places.
Yeah, and this is one of them.
So we've already played a part in this.
Unfortunately, that is indeed the case, Commander Rydek.
We're morally obligated to make this right.
Hold on. Our only obligation is to negotiate the peaceful resolution of this conflict.
Given the Federation's involvement in the Elydium dilithium
Spock likes
trade,
me.
Captain Solano and I must make every effort to appear neutral in these negotiations.
What worries me is if this whole thing unravels, and we're at the mercy of the storm at less than full strength.
We can't let it come to that.
Considering what the ion storm has done to our ship, and the Ambassador's shuttle, we have to assume the Elydian fleet has had problems with it as well. This recent surge in the energy disturbance temporarily levels the playing field.
Commander Westbrook is correct. The energy anomalies around the Hotari systems have been noted in the past.
That may answer why the Hotari were able to strike back after so long. They finally had an opportunity, and they took it.
That would also explain the Elydians' restraint.
And reason to learn as much about the energy anomaly as we can while we are here. We do not want to be caught at a disadvantage of our own. So I trust we understand our circumstances.
We're operating on a strict timetable here. We're going to be leaving for the negotiations shortly. Commander Westbrook, I want you to leverage our systems to investigate the anomaly from here while we're gone.
Aye, Captain.
Thank you all.
Dismissed.
I want to speak to both of you privately.
Ambassador Spock, I'd like to make a formal introduction. My first officer, Commander Jara Rydek.
Commander.
That's a cool painting in the
As
background.
you are aware, there are limits to what Captain Solano and I can do in our official capacity as representatives of the Federation. But someone in an unofficial capacity, your first officer, for example, would not be bound by those restrictions. Commander Rydek could ingratiate herself to certain parties behind the scenes, where they may be more candid in revealing information that could lead to a resolution.
How am I not in Starfleet?
She certainly goes her own way. Maybe that helps in this case. It would be unconventional, but I'm not opposed to it.
I'm perfectly happy to work outside the lines.
And by extension, you will be doing your duty, Commander.
Just not too far outside the lines. Well, I hope Commander Rydek will have more luck finding out what really happened than we will through official diplomatic channels.
The fate of the negotiations, the interests of the Federation, and the prospect for peace may very well depend on it.
I kind of want to squee. Like, Oh my god, Spock! Alright. Alright, alright, alright. There we go. All right, all right. Just like hot take. I was not sure when I wanted this game. I knew I wanted this game. I wanted to check it out. I wanted to see what it was. When I started playing it, like the gameplay, it's just mainly quick time events, push forward to move. It's very basic gameplay, but I think it works. I think it really works with this. Give me my... I want to smoke. There we go. But yeah, I think it really works. The the facial graphics, the animations, little bit off. The hair's not particularly good, but really the voice acting, the acting in general has been pretty strong. The rest of the game's visuals are really strong, and I'm invested. The moment Spock showed up on screen, like, I don't know why he's there. I don't know why he's currently an ambassador. I don't know. What the fuck was that? Oh, I just got a subscriber, I guess. I'm all in. Like, I was going to play some other games. Like, Pinball Wiki is kind of cool looking if you're into the pinball stuff. This is a new... It's not Pinball FX, people. It's only got this one table right now, but this table's pretty freaking cool.
Fire in the hull!
But, you know, I don't think I'd play it for a whole stream. I just wanted to... I'll probably wind up doing a review on that particular table. Not Zombie Army Trilogy. Like Rain and VR Stuzz are playing. I've got that downloaded just to play it. If I happen to be awake when they're playing. Square Enix quality? Oh my god. Dude, does Square Enix even have quality anymore? Mary got me ooblets. It's interesting looking. I didn't get it for myself because, like, do I really need another one of these kind of cozy farm sims? But, you know, now I have it. I don't... Oh, you guys can't see shit. Screw you. But yeah, like, how many of these do I really need? But now that I've got it, I've got no reason not to play it. And it looks pretty cool. What else? Tropico 5, that's the other one that I was going to definitely play. Like, Terraforming Mars is a card game of some kind. Homeworld is a strategy game. I don't usually play those. I've got both of those installed because those are pinball tables on Pinball FX. And, you know, I kind of want to know the background of, like, where these tables came from and how, like, the conversion Like, is this really close to what they're trying to replicate? When I eventually do review those tables. I think the, which one? Terraforming Mars is actually a pretty cool looking table. Yeah, so I was really thinking about doing those, but and then also there's Hades. And that's why I hate the Epic Store. God damn it. I've got this game installed and I keep forgetting about it because it's not on Steam, and I never have anything installed on Epic ever. So I keep forgetting I have this game, this awesome game, but I gotta play Star Trek. I like every day except for Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to be plowing through the Star Trek game. I'm ending a little bit early tonight, not because I feel terrible, but because I have blood work at 7 a.m., which means I can't. It's Gremlins rules. It's Gremlins rules right now. If you've had blood work, you know what that means. I can't eat after 10 p.m. I can't drink anything but water. So, like, you know, Gremlins, water's bad for Gremlins, but, you know, you get it. Like, I can't eat or drink anything after a certain time. Cookie, I think I looked at that the other day. Cookie Maker Simulator. Everybody's fucking playing Cookie Clicker recently. Which... I don't think Cookie Maker Simulator is a real game. Oh, yeah, like I'm going to find it that way. Yeah, I think Dan's lying. I've got the damn game. I've never, ever played it. I don't know what it... I mean, you click on cookies, but I'm sure there's more going on there. And of course, you guys can't see it because I... But yeah, this is like... I think I might even have that. Yeah, this game's a real pain in the ass. The problem, it comes down, it's kind of a pain in the ass to control. Like, this feels like a game that you need a VR headset to play properly. Cooking's, it's cool, but it's so easy to accidentally fuck shit up. And then it just, like, it becomes no fun when you're struggling with the controls. All right. But yeah, that was Star Trek. I didn't know if I was going to like it. I didn't know anything really about it except for we watched the trailer once and I thought the graphics looked pretty decent. And I'm hooked. Like, there is absolutely no regret here. I really want to see what else is going to happen in this game. It feels like Star Trek. It looks like Star Trek. Like it, and that's really... Man, not only have I had a Star Trek overload, like with all the pinball tables and shit, this is just another amazing licensed property transitioned into an appropriate style of game. Terminator, RoboCop, Star Trek, What the hell else? I feel like I played something else that was a popular movie franchise converted into the game. Maybe I'm thinking about Child's Play Pinball. No, I have no regrets about this Star Trek. Yeah, I haven't really played the other Star Trek games to really compare, but I mean, I'm having a better time than I would if I was trying to play Star Trek Online, which is the best Star Trek game out there, I think, right now. But like, it's a very specific kind of game. It's very grindy. It's an MMO. You have to remember to do your dilithium conversions and this, and you have to, it's so much hoops. There's so many hoops to jump through in those games. I don't have the patience, time, or desire to say hi to Light Lottie. Sorry, Light, I'm ending a little bit early tonight. I have to eat within the next 45 minutes or wait until like 8 o'clock tomorrow morning after I've gotten my blood drawn and pissed, and I assume I'm peeing. Usually the food thing, well, I don't know. It could be for the blood test too. I don't know. I get too many damn tests. But yeah, I guess rewind if you want to tell. Again? Well, I've got to be up at 7 a.m. and I'm not allowed to eat. I'm under Gremlins rules. I'm not allowed to eat after, we'll say midnight, but it's 10 p.m. But I am hooked. I am hooked on this Star Trek game. Rewind if you want to see what it's like, but it's a choose your own adventure with some very light, quick time event kind of actions, very minimal. Like the phaser, there's not like a whole lot of aiming. You aim and fire and, you know, you do stuff, but it's not like, it's not an action game. But it's it's like RoboCop. It is the perfect pacing for what they are trying to accomplish. And before I go, I just want to see one more thing. What is this? Star Trek Resurgance voice actors. The fuck? How? How? What? It's got to be an AI version of his voice. Damn it. I'm seeing characters that are going to show up in the game that I don't. They're technically spoilers, like right there, fucking Spock. Let's see. Damn it! Now I know which Riker this is. It's William Thomas, not Thomas. Oh, she actually looks like her character. Actually, they all might look kind of like their characters, I think. All right. Now, I don't... Where's the actor credit for Spock? Who the fuck played Spock? And our ship's computer. Damn it. They've actually been doing... they did a lot of voice sampling of the original ship's computer. Luxwana Troy's character. Like she's legitimately going to be an AI voice when they get it all put together. Okay, full cast and crew. Why isn't Spock listed? Oh, here we go. Oh, this guy, okay. He's also Yoda? He's also President Biden? Who the fuck is this guy? Spider-Man 2. Oh, he was in Hellboy? I need to check that out. He was in Starfield. Boo. Harry Potter. Babylon 5? The Road Home. Is that new? Yes, that's new. That's the new one. Oh, shit. Ah, he's in Diablo 4. Sorry about your luck. Taz, Quest for Burger. Majel Barrett, thank you, thank you. Okay. Okay, I am impressed as hell. I'm impressed because quotes.
Oh, farmers, pray that your summers be wet and your winters clear.
Sounds just like that.
The man who moves a mountain begins by carrying away small stones. Push your shoulder to the wheel. Give a man a fish, and you feed him for a day. Teach a man to fish, and you feed him for a lifetime.
That is, of course, Civilization 4. I made that joke. Everybody made fun of me. You and me, Eric Garrett, we're the only people here with a sense of humor. It's the obvious joke, right? Now I'm upset. Now I'm upset because Air gets me. Air gets me. All right, guys. Good night. I need to hurry up and eat. It's already 20 minutes. I've got 40 minutes to microwave something. I'll see you.